Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today was the start of Ultra League for us, so we decided to use the same team that we came in with last season, and that's the Cresselia lead with Giratina Origin in the middle and Swampert in the back. Now, the reason I chose this team was Cresselia got the buff, but we already were using her before. She's really good against a lot of the meta and has very good coverage moves against the things she's weak against with that Moonblast. Swampert, I think, is just a safe swap overall in the whole meta. There aren't a lot of things that hard beat Swampert. Even grass types like Venusaur can still get hit by the Earthquake pretty hard. And then Giratina is a Pokemon that is actually with shields up, sort of like Haunter in Great League. The Shadow Ball with its high attack stat are going to absolutely destroy a lot of the Pokemon in Ultra League. So let's go ahead and get started with the games. I'm going to show you two 5-0s that we did this morning on our Twitch channel. The other three sets I went 4-1, 2-3, and 3-2. So 19-6 overall for the day. This team is really good right now. I think it's really good against the meta, and it's pretty close to meta as well. I don't have things like Registeel or Giratina altered. I just don't have the candy for them, and I don't really want to power them up. I don't have a ton of dust. So let's go ahead and get into the games now. Alright, so we're starting the day off here at 23-20. This is the very first set we did in the day, I believe. Oh, no, I think this is the second set, actually. I think we went 4-1 in the first set. And then in this second set, we're starting off, like I said, Cresselia against Togekiss. So I decided to go Future Sight here. Didn't think they would shield, but also at the time, I thought that I thought that Fairy didn't take super effective against Fairy. So I was like, oh, I'll just keep going Future Sight. But actually, it is neutral, so you probably should just go the Moonblast into Togekiss. And really against any Charm user, even though Future Sight's doing more damage, I think that the Moonblast is going to be really good because it can reduce. It has a 30% chance to reduce the attack. And a lot of these Fairy users in Great League or Ultra League, really all the leagues, are trying to use Charm to take you out. So we end up taking out that Togekiss, and he comes in with Giratina altered here. And we know with shields down, we're going to be pretty good, even with Swampert here. We just want, since we can land the Earthquakes for free, and know they're not going to get shielded, it's actually going to do about 55% HP. And this Swampert did work already, so we're going to bring in Giratina. And really, in the back, Giratina and Swampert kind of hit the same things. And they bring in Jirachi, which we're going to end up taking out here, because Swampert's there usually for the steals or even the fires. There were a few Charizards, and Giratina has good matchups against those as well, especially with shields up. Really, the thing you're going to be fearing the most with Giratina is a Charm user, and actually one of the sets that I played did have double Charm in the back with a Charizard lead, and that actually did really well against us, unfortunately. Alright, so we get into this next game, the Din Din effect. And Cresselia versus Alakazam of everything. I've not seen this. It definitely looks like it's using counter. I'm deciding, I'm just going to go Moonblast. I'm pretty sure it just dies to anything here, plus it resists the Future Sight anyways. I know that Alakazam's super frail, so I'm just trying to land moves. And then I have a second of thought in my mind. I'm like, I think it learned Shadow Ball, so I decided to shield there. And he actually baited me with a Fire Punch, and Alakazam does know Shadow Ball, y'all. It actually does a pretty significant amount of damage, 55%. But Cresselia is super tanky, that's one of the things I love the most about her. And I know I can't farm it down there, so I decide to swap out and just go for the kill. And they bring in Scissor, so Scissor in the lead is actually going to be super tough for me, because it beats Cresselia. I think it does, at least. I'm not 100% sure on that matchup, but since he took the Shadow Ball, I decided I can just stay in this matchup and try to farm down, but he swaps into Giratina A, and I probably could have made it to Shadow Ball, but I didn't know, and we had already clicked it before, and it looks like he ended up shielding anyways, but we don't make it to the second Ominous Wind here. So I'm thinking about my options here. I decided to come in with Swampert for the same reason as the last match. With shields down, Swampert's only going to need to get to an Earthquake to take out this Giratina. And the moves that Giratina puts out really don't do a lot of damage. Giratina Altered is a tank, so he's not really going to be doing a ton of damage. This Earthquake will take it out, and then the Scissors just super low ends up getting taken out by the Mud Shots. And so we're 2-0 in this set, coming into the next game against Rain 5376. And she's using a Poliwrath. So this matchup's obviously really good in your favor. All you need to do is throw the Moonblast. They come with the Registeel. We swap to Swampert. And so what I like to do a lot of times, I don't know if I'm going to do it here, but a lot of times I like to go up to the Earthquake bait with the Hydro Cannon, and if they don't shield, I'll just go Hydro Cannon the rest of the way. It still does pretty good damage. So it looks like we're actually going to go for the Earthquake, or it looks like we're clicking that way, but I usually go for another Hydro. Yeah, there we go. Because even if they shield this, we can go for a third one and end up getting them super low. In fact, close to farm down range, even with Swampert. Oh, no way. But we're okay. We've brought it all the way down. We're going to come in probably with Giratina and farm down the rest of this for a pretty significant lead against the Pokemon that's coming in. And they end up bringing back in Poliwrath, and I think for a second I can go for the Shadow Ball, but let me just come into the really good matchup with Cresselia, since I know I can just land the Moonblast. And we farm up a little bit of extra here. We're not really too worried about Poliwrath's moves. They're not doing a lot of damage, so get the energy while you can. These are the things that really separate a lot of battlers, gaining the extra energy when you need to. And he ended up shielding his Poliwrath, so what he has in the back must also be weak to Giratina. Probably weak to Giratina and Cresselia. I'm not remembering what that is right now. Possibly Swampert. Oh, it's a Cresselia. So I think we're going to go straight Shadow Ball here. Shield the Moonblast. Ooh, and she didn't shield, so we're going to go straight Ominous Wind, shield the Moonblast. Probably has to shield this Ominous Wind no matter what. And then we get to another Ominous Wind before she gets to a Moonblast, I'm pretty sure. Oh. Do I win this one? Okay, Moonblast doesn't KO us. Interesting. And we know the switch timer just came up, so I didn't want to throw right away, and they did try to swap in to take a charge move. Lucky for us, we were thinking about it. We didn't throw right away, and we were able to take out that Cresselia. Probably, even if they switch, we'd probably take it out anyways, just from the fast attacks. But might as well be safe, rather than sorry. And this is Dr. Monsel. Swampert. So this is a really good lead for us. You're going to want to go Moonblast. And in the Swampert's position, they're going to want to go Earthquake. Yeah, so we throw this Moonblast here. We actually get the attack debuff. I think that's the first attack debuff we got today, actually. Took 9 games, but we got it. They're going to throw the Hydro Cannon. We didn't shield it. It's good for us. I wasn't going to shield either way, even if it was an Earthquake. You know, it does good damage, but we're tanky for a reason, right? So I want to make sure I use the bulkiness more than the shields if I possibly have a chance. So we end up taking out that Swampert, and in comes Alolan Muck. Now, Alolan Muck's actually pretty bad for our team. We have to get into the matchup with Swampert. But the Moonblasts are still doing neutral damage, and they're pretty good. You get the attack debuff, and it's even better, right? But we're okay letting go of this Cresselia. The only reason we didn't switch out was because we didn't want to lose the switch advantage. And we still did damage, and then we're just going to come in with Swampert. Throw the Hydro Cannon, not going to waste any time here. Don't want to get hit by anything from this Alolan Muck. We'll see what they have in the back. And it's actually Charm User, and this is actually a little bad for us. We haven't really used shields, and they haven't used shields at all either. So this Swampert's going to have to do work, but he's just going to shield up both of these. So I decided the only thing I have left to do is I have to come in with Giratina, who's going to get absolutely chunked by these charms. and then bring in or throw a Shadow Ball and hope that it KOs. Now, it didn't KO, but I'm deciding to shield here because Swampert's fast attacks aren't going to do enough to take out this Clefable, but I was thinking maybe the Giratina's Shadow Claws, that damage is high enough. Maybe that's going to be enough because I'm never getting to another charge move on either of those Pokemon. So that's a good win right there for us. A really tough win. Charm users in the back with 2 shields. If I don't have Cresselia, it's going to be very difficult for me to beat. Especially if they have 2, which, like I said, did happen earlier. Okay, Armored Mewtwo. So, Psystrike, Confusion, both can be super resisted. Or, they're just going to be super. They're going to be resisted by Cresselia. So, I'm fine with this matchup. We have a neutral thing that we can throw at it. And if we get the debuff, you know, more power to us, I guess. I don't know the other moves that Armored Mewtwo has. I believe Focus Blast. Possibly, I think Earthquake as well. I know it doesn't have the Shadow Ball, so we're not super scared of any of those moves, I think. And we'll just keep throwing. We'll just keep throwing these Moon Blasts at it. I mean, the thing about it is these Pokemon in Ultra League are super bulky. A lot of them, and especially when the moves are resisted, like these 2 Mon against each other. Some of these matches can really go to a timeout. I think we had a couple matches get really close. I don't think I actually timed out of any ranked matches. I did play matches with some viewers afterwards, and we did get a timeout in one of those games. You'll especially get there if there's Cresselia versus Cresselia. Now, this guy brought in Gyarados, and I know Gyarados has Hydro Pump and Outrage, but we decided to shield there, and it ended up being a crunch, so a little bit of a wasted shield there. But he ends up taking this Hydro Cannon, and I'm like, what's in the back? Because you haven't used a shield at all. Ends up being Registeel, and we have Swampert, and I'm actually just going to go straight Hydro Cannon against this guy, because he's got 2 shields. And I actually decided to shield here, because I think I can get to 2 Hydro Cannons before he gets to a Focus Blast again. So that was one, and then this is the second one. And then I think we can just farm down with Giratina, because we can still take another Flash Cannon on Giratina, and I actually end up swapping in on the Focus Blast. So we're super good here. Just farm down, and we got it. The swap in may not have been necessary. I mean, definitely wasn't. But, you know, practice in these games, I guess. We were going to win that one, I think, no matter what happened, unless we lagged out, which I actually was getting a lot of latency on moves, which was interesting because I thought the servers got fixed. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the server thing happened. Okay, so against Togekiss here, you're going to want to go... Now, at this point, I figured out I can just go Moonblast. Look at that. We got a little bit of latency there. I think that was actually mutual, so I guess that's fine. Togekiss is not going to get to a move anyways. Charm just loads up on your energy just a little too slow. Got 1 shield already. Throwing this second Moonblast, seeing if we can get another shield. Doesn't shield. And the third Moonblast will take it out. He shouldn't get to a move. And we'll see if he wants to commit another shield. Doesn't end up committing it. He brings in Mew. I decided to swap in Swampert because I don't want Mew to just Shadow Claw us down. I know that I can't really get to another move before he does. And I think I can actually get farmed down by the Shadow Claw. So I decided to come in with Swampert. The fact that he's not switching into another Mon makes me think that in the back is possibly Registeel or Charizard. Those are the more common choices of Pokemon for people in Ultra League. So with that in mind, I am thinking that I can get to another Hydro Cannon here, which is going to take out the Swampert. And if it is one of those Pokemon, we're going to resist so much of the damage from the fast attacks that we might actually get a Hydro Cannon off anyways. And it does end up being a Charizard. We actually saw quite a few Charizards. Maybe not as much as Registeel. Well, yeah, obviously not as much, but Charizard is still a pretty good Mon in this league because you can get an energy advantage on the dragons and throw out the Dragon Claws, and then you do really well against Registeel as well, since you resist all of Reggie's moves, and Blast Burn does a ton of damage to Registeel. Another Togekiss lead here. We're going to go the same thing. It's interesting because lots of Togekiss today, I think. And most of the time it's in the lead. Usually if there's a Charmander in the back, it seems to be Clefable or Granpool, from what I've seen. And he ends up bringing in Giratina here. I throw the Moonblast, but then I'm like, okay, let me throw in my Giratina Origin because I don't think... I can win the matchup with Cresselia pretty easily, but I'm going to need that Cresselia for the Charmander. And let's go ahead and get rid of our Giratina, since it's going to be weak to that Charmander. We actually end up getting the boost. First boost today as well for us. And with the boost, I'm like, oh, I can get to the Shadow Ball, maybe get the shield. And I think he ends up not shielding it. Shadow Ball does a ton of damage, especially with the buff, right? And then we try to get to just even an Ominous Wind, but we're so low at this point, we end up getting Lock On down. But it's okay. And I actually decide right here to bring in the Cresselia because I want to eat up some of that energy and then come in with the counter, right? And he still has a shield, so I think I'm going to bait with the Hydro Cannon. And then if we get the shield, we're going to go Earthquake, and then if we don't, we're going to go all Hydro Cannons. He ends up shielding, we do the Earthquake, and I think this KOs from like 55-60%. So, yeah, we end up taking that match. Swampert is so good in the back. Earthquake is just really good in neutral against a lot of things. And like I said earlier, even against Venusaur, it's a neutral damage move. It does about 75% to Venusaur. I think it does about 65-70. Nicotine 74. Registeel. Okay, really bad start. I think we're going to go straight into Giratina, if I'm going to guess. Yeah. So we'll be able to preserve the Swampert matchup against the Reggie once he swaps. Ends up not swapping out, though. Interesting. So we have huge energy advantage now against this Giratina, altered. And we're going to throw the Ominous Wind because he's got to be scared. But he is not scared. But we get the boost 2 games in a row. I think these are the only 2 boosts we end up getting. But back-to-back games is unheard of. 10% chance, so... We got it twice in 4 Ominous Winds right there. And our opponent has a Scrafty. Okay, so Scrafty's going to be really good against us. We're going to do... what's it called? We're going to get resisted damage. And I think he actually has to throw a Foul Play to take us out. The Power-Up Punch just is not going to do anything. And then we come back in with Cresselia. And if we land this Moonblast, I think it's going to one-shot this Scrafty. But I think he knows that. And he's going to swap out, so I decide not to throw the move right when I get to it, and then I just come in with the Swampert against this Registeel. I think I'm going to shield here, because this matchup's going to be a lot harder for me to win. And if I come in with Cresselia against Reggie, I'm just going to not do enough damage, I think, to take it out. And then I decide to go all Hydro Cannons because he has a shield. And he's not shielding, so now I'm going to try to go for... I think I try to go for a Farm Down here. Oh, I think he ends up... Yeah, I try to go for a Farm Down. And then I'm like, oh, he's going to get to the move. Let me just throw it. But I think he's going to let his guy go. But we have a second Hydro Cannon. I'm going to throw this and then come into the good matchup with Cresselia. And that's just going to be it. Yeah, he's got 2 shields, but we already have a move. We go for this combo. And he's just not going to do enough damage to us. I think he ends up going for the Power-Up Punch here. Yeah. I guess to get a boosted Foul Play right here. I'm not going to lie, I got a little scared, but Cresselia is so tanky. Yeah, it's not even going to... It does about 40%, it looks like. 45. So we end up taking this match against Scrafty. Scrafty's an interesting pick. You have to have a lot of Scrafty candy, because you have to max him out to level 40, and it's going to cost you a lot of Stardust. So if you want to do that, I don't know. Maybe check out the Sims on PB Poke, and if you like what you're seeing, like if you're losing to a lot of things that it's good against, like maybe Muck or even Cresselia. I'm sure it wins against Cresselia. I don't... Oh, well, no, I'm sure it actually loses to Cresselia because of the Moonblast, right? for sure, for sure. All right. We get into the next game here, maybe? Come on, join the game. There you go. Looking for our opponent. I think this was... Oh, no. The last set of the day we went 4-1, so I didn't show that in this video. And we come up against Snorlax. So Snorlax is going to be really good against the Ghostmon, because it double resists the Ghost moves and also does super effective damage with Lick against the Ghosts. So it's going to be good against Giratina Altered and Giratina Origin, especially good against Giratina Origin, so my Giratina. So all I want to do is come out of this matchup with Snorlax taken super low or KO'd, which it looks like Future Sight does a lot of damage. I shouldn't have thrown this Future Sight. I should have gone into Moonblast here because it was obvious that he was going to shield. And I think I end up shielding here also. I just need to get the Snorlax super low so that I can really have some good matchups in the back, because this is his Giratina counter. So I assume with Giratina in the back, we can go wild with it. So I'm going to bring in Swampert here. Eat some of these moves. Body Slam's not going to be doing too much, probably 25-30%. And then really, I don't want to use my shields either, I think, on Swampert. I really want to set up this Giratina Origin for victory here in the back for success. Take out the Snorlax, see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. I think it's a Poliwrath, if I remember. Ooh, it is a Poliwrath. So these ice punches are going to be doing pretty good amount of damage. Well, he's going to get to them really fast. They're going to be super spammy. They do about 25%. So the Shadow Ball, I don't believe KOs. And if I remember this match, I get really scared. I'm thinking about farming it down after the shield, but then I think I get pretty scared and then throw the Ominous Wind anyways. And I forget what he has in the back here, so we'll have to see with y'all here. Armored Mewtwo. Okay, so I really need to get to the Shadow Ball. I believe this was actually a CMP tie. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm remembering. Yeah, because we can't switch out to the Swampert. So this is going to KO the Giratina. But Swampert is low, but all it needs to do is get to a Hydro Cannon. And since it's so fast to get there with Mud Slap or Mud Shot, we get there. Take out that Armored Mewtwo. A lot of Armored Mewtwo in the queue today as well, y'all. I think I'm explaining what I was doing there at the end. We get into the next game here. Click it, come on. There we go. A Lanier. I think this is the last game. This person is rank 9. Oh my gosh, the dreaded Cresselia mirror. So, this mirror is not hard, y'all. Just go Moonblast. Whoever gets the debuff wins. And it takes so long for this match because we're so bulky. It's not stab. No one ends up getting the attack debuff, I don't think, which is great because if you get the attack debuff in this match, I'm sure it can take up a lot more time. Because then you're doing nothing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure neither of us get it. We'll see. So I noticed we do have a health advantage, so our Cresselia is a little better than theirs. And we actually got a piggyback. I'm remembering a little bit of it. We did get a piggyback somewhere, so we actually gained a move ahead because they have CMP. We saw it on the first Moonblast. Super good switch right here by them into Swampert, but it's okay for us. I'm going to come in with Giratina. All we need to do is land an Ominous Wind, and then we can farm down. I think he ends up taking this, so with that, I decide I'm going to shield if it's the Earthquake. We're going to farm down. If it's not, we're going to throw Ominous Wind. And since he threw Earthquake, we're going to farm down. This can only be a Hydro Cannon. He didn't have enough time. And yeah, that's going to be resisted. Even though Hydro Cannon is an insanely good move, we resist it. So if he comes back in with Cresselia, it probably means he's got... what in the back? Charizard or Registeel? I was going to say Regitina. I'm going to shield this. I don't know... Probably just farm it down. Okay, he's got shields, but we're going for the Shadow Ball. I wonder if I switch into Swampert here. I don't think this is going to KO, but I think I do want to switch so he doesn't farm down. Yeah, I do go into Swampert. So this is already the third time that I've said it in this video, but with shields down, Swampert is actually really good against Giratina Altered. This Earthquake is just does so much damage, and you can follow it up with Hydro Cannon if they're at full health, and almost get the KO. Now, luckily for us, he was down a little health, so Hydro Cannon here will KO. And we will get to it. We're just so spammy. This is why I love Swampert. Like, you can win a lot of the matchups shield down, and you can also take a lot of shields, so... Oh, I forgot he had a Cresselia in the back. But yeah, Swampert, too spammy. He's getting to the moves a lot faster than the opponents. And, that's day 1 of Ultra League. I went up 122 points. We hit rank 9, which is very hype. I'm so glad. We were struggling there a little bit towards the end. Well, towards the middle of Great League. We didn't seem to move a lot. A little towards the end, we did move a lot with the Zapdos. But here we moved a ton. Like I said, in my sets, I went 5-0. In order, I went 5-0, 2-3, 3-2, 5-0, and then I ended with a 4-1 to get to 25-02, so rank 9. Again, thank y'all for watching. If you haven't checked out my Twitch channel, I stream at 5 a.m. Central in the morning, most weekdays. Actually, I'm going to try to do all weekdays. And then I am going to try to upload a couple games from that channel per day. If you want to see the losses, I can do that also. I just wanted to demonstrate the strength of it today. But like I said, I went 2-3, 3-2, and 4-1 in my other 3 sets, so we can showcase those if that's what you want. Just let me know in the comments below, and if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you want me to do. And until the next time, I'll see you in the next one.